Your attitude really is fixed. Look at you. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful day, Scorekeepers. Welcome to this week's episode of The Score, where we take a look at arts and culture through our queer Black lenses. As always, I am your co-host, Rocky Jones, and I am here with my two magical, mythical, marvelous, moisturized co-hosts. First up, we have the delightful, dare I say, docile at the moment, Dr.
At
Lee
the
Bynum.
moment, at the moment, it kind of only at the moment.
And of course, what would we do without the amazing Paige Reynolds? Hello, Paige Reynolds. How are you?
Hello, hello. I am swell.
Swell.
I am. I am. You
Okay.
know, getting to have a little doctor's visit without the medical racism is real nice. It'll do that for somebody, you know?
I can't even believe it.
I know,
In
right?
this
I
day and
know.
age.
I've only heard about that happening to people. So,
In storybooks
Same.
and fairy tales.
Yep. Yep.
Not here on Earth.
No, I thought it
Happens
was a
to
far
Betsy
off
now.
fantasy.
Oh, well, what a week. What a week. What a week it has been.
Mhm.
Oh, here on Earth. Well, what a couple of weeks. I think it's been a couple of weeks since we've chatted with all of y'all. How are y'all surviving?
us are the people at home, because those may be different answers.
Well, I guess we're the only ones here at the moment, so.
I'll give you that.
You know, just taking it one unprecedented event at a time.
Mhm.
That's all, you know? Yeah.
Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah. Well, as you both know, I absconded to the desert.
I saw that.
Stuck my head
Mm.
in the sand for for a week or so, but still couldn't escape. But
Mm.
just the healing of the sun beating down on me and a whole bottle of tequila by the pool. It does wonders. I recommend it for everyone.
You had me at tequila.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's nature's wonder drug. We don't need we don't need any stinking medical system.
And it's a good thing.
It is. It is. Is that 100% agave? Look for that on the bottle. And you'll be all good. You'll be all good.
Yeah, this
Amen and
morning
Ashe.
I was watching the RFK Jr. hearings from this week, and
Oh, Lord
I had
Jesus.
to turn them off. Like I wanted to
Mm.
watch it because obviously healthcare is a thing at my house, like it is at everybody else's. And I was like, I feel like I shouldn't be hiding. I should instead be actually engaging with these decisions that are clearly going to
Mm.
affect um, my life living in such a densely populated city where if there is a,
Hmm.
I don't know,
Mhm.
pandemic, epidemic, regular demic, it can move through here, like uh, what do they say? A hot butter through a cold knife or something like that.
Hot
Um,
knife through cold butter.
that actually, yeah,
Yeah.
yes. Uh, I am as versed on American axioms as RFK Jr. is versed on his job. He
Hmm.
didn't know
Oh,
what in the hell was going on out here. And I was like, you know what? Let me just turn this off and be surprised if I catch the bubonic plague and not worry about it for the rest of the year because clearly there is nothing I can do if I do come down with that or whooping cough or any of the other
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
natural plagues that were obliterated previously by the most normal process of vaccination, which has been with us for hundreds of years
Hundreds of
by the
years.
by, right?
It was not invented in like the 60s like
Mm,
people seem to think.
No, no,
no,
and
no, it
truly been
wasn't.
around thousands of years. All
Mm-hmm.
kinds of societies have
Yes.
record of inoculation
Mm-hmm.
and figuring out how vaccinations work.
Hey,
But
the
RFK Jr. is just gonna tell you to drink some sea moss if you get sick. So,
Yes. Ah, ah, ah.
you know what? It's
oh,
it's actually in our best interest if our citizens don't die of preventable disease, but apparently not anymore. So just go
no,
enjoy your
not at
colloidal
all.
silver and
Have you tried cutting out seed oils out of your diet? Have
Mm.
you? Maybe you need to go paleo.
Because look at RFK, he looks so healthy. I want to be just like him. He looks and sounds like
Sounds
the healthiest
so
man
healthy.
I have ever seen. Hale and hearty.
And I remember so many things that he talks about from the course I took back in 10th grade on AP pseudoscience that are now coming back really, really beneficially. He's absolutely right about all of this. You know, we've known for years that everything that we think about biology, chemistry, immunology, internal medicine, it was all a bunch of bull. So I'm so glad that we are now all in agreement that science is not a thing. Diseases are things that you get if you, I don't know, are probably some kind of crazy left-wing person, right? Like right-wingers don't get them. And if they do, they can certainly pray them away, right? I mean, isn't that where we are? Just like you can pray away these school shootings. I mean, we are, what do the kids say? We're Gucci. We're Gucci over here.
I'm just truly amazed at this attitude that, like, all of these people have spent all of this time, all of this money, all of these years in school to become immunologists, to become economists, to become, like, people who are experts in their field, who know what they're doing and want to actually help. But no, all of those people are lying. They're just lying. And actually they have no idea what they're talking about because they went to some liberal university.
Mhm.
And therefore, I remember in the 2000s, I was just out of college. I was working for, a boomer-aged white person who was absolutely mystified that, George W. Bush was going to give the State of the Union and that I would actually watch it. Because, well, I know that you are a Democrat or you're a liberal. Why would you watch that? Like, because I'm a citizen of this country and I want to know what's going on and what our leaders are talking about and what policies they're advocating. And why wouldn't I? Do you not watch the State of the Union when there is a Democrat enough? No, of course not because that's not my team,
Yeah.
I guess. And then just this, idea that like, the hundreds of thousands of dollars that have been sunk into my education at this point, which, we had to pay back somehow. Um, that, I'm just a complete moron and I have no idea what I'm talking about. And yet you are the boomer who sunk the hundreds of thousands of dollars into your children's education just so you could raise an entire generation of entitled idiots that have no idea what they're talking about. And yet, the people you're voting for are sitting on television telling us that it's good for children to have like a little bit of measles. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
just a
Just a little bit,
tinge.
just a little bit. And of course, y'all will take your cats in to the vet every year to get their rabies and distemper, but y'all won't take your child to the
Well,
doctor to get measles and mumps and rubella and all those vaccinations and polio and all that shit. Okay. Okay. What do I know?
You sick of winning yet?
No. Is my favorite. But like it makes no sense to me. Like in their heads, like it makes complete sense to go and take your dog in every year and get a rabies shot. But like your child can't get a measles vaccine. Like explain that to me.
Yeah,
And because of Jesus, somehow.
somehow, right?
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Because of Jesus or because of some dude on a Reddit thread who is not a scientist, but seems to have some type of evidence on some big conspiracy behind vaccines and them giving everyone autism.
And why are we talking about people with autism like they're werewolves?
Hello? Hello?
Like, what is this? Like, we need a national registry. For what?
For what? For what? For what?
Why?
Yeah. Yeah.
For what reason?
Y'all,
From people who can't even actually describe to me what autism is.
thank
I
you.
bet you, I bet you none of them can accurately describe
I mean, you
what it
know they
is.
can't.
No, no.
And this whole thing was like 30 years ago, 1 in 10,000 children were diagnosed. Now it's 1 in 10. We have to look at it. A, we are. B, perhaps it's that medical technology has advanced to the point that we can
Hmm.
recognize what this is, and more people have it than what we originally thought. And
Mm-hmm.
there are more different kinds that we are able to diagnose. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe it is that medical technology is advancing because we're funding it and we have a whole bunch of people who are studying it, and that's good because now we have more information.
But that's not good because they're not coming to a conclusion that he likes.
Right.
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 Right. And there's also that whole logic argument because I remember it was the same thing with COVID when Trump was like, we need to stop testing so many people so that we have fewer cases. And I just remember I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely following your logic, but like, why why is that the thing, right? Like, why is it why is it just why don't people understand how it works?
I
Like
don't
that's the thing
know.
that I find
Because it's
so
like following the
confusing.
logic off a cliff.
No, it absolutely is. You know, that there are so many more people now who have fill in the blank. I'm like, yes, because we have a name for it, right? Like, you know, where did all these trans and non-binary people come from? Their mothers and fathers, first of all, and now we have a name for a thing. And as a person who identifies as a thing that there was not previously a name for, I can tell you I was still the same thing before I knew what the word was for it,
Hmm.
Say
right?
that.
Like
Mm-hmm.
there is just something just absolutely wild about this. And no, drag queens had nothing to do with it,
At
right? Like
all.
if I hadn't seen anybody except for my very cisgender heterosexual parents, I would still be exactly who I am right now. This is I wish the people out there who got to make decisions on behalf of all of us actually understood how people worked. That actually might be a very good place to start with fixing America.
But that would require empathy.
Mm,
which
mm,
is which is a
mm.
sin.
Yeah.
Which is a sin, y'all.
Oh my
It
gosh,
is
things are dark.
amazing that people have gone from like, what would Jesus do to being like, let's call ice on Jesus, right? Like just the way the whole thing has completely flipped in this country. Like, ah,
Mm.
Hopes and prayers, though. Hopes and prayers,
Hopes
Mhm.
and
everybody.
prayers, thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers.
They're really like Jesus would have said, "Fuck them kids."
Yes.
What?
No, I
Oh
mean
my gosh.
there's this creator on TikTok who I really like. And I can't remember her name. I'm so
Mm,
sorry off the top of my
wow.
head.
Yeah.
Rachel
Rachel somebody.
Rachel Klinger or something. She has three names, but I can't remember what they are now.
I don't know.
But
Shout out to Rachel.
shout out to Rachel. I'll find her page and I'll link it in the show notes. But she's a former evangelical Christian, and she talks about just sort of like why she thinks we are where we are today, you know, for through that lens. And a lot of what she talks about, and I don't know if this is her original thought or she's you know, taking from somewhere, but I like the way that she frames it, which is that like folks like us who are empathetic and looking around and being like, oh, these policies are hurting people. These policies don't hurt people. So like, hey, like it looks like, all the queer people have been getting married now for a decade and the world didn't end and actually people are happier and have more rights and that's great. So why don't we just like keep that? Because it's not hurting anyone and it's actually a net positive for people in their lives. So like let's even though this book that y'all like to read says that it's bad. In the real world, it's actually not. And she's frames that as sort of like a horizontal um, system of morality, where we are all sort of looking at each other as equals and
Mhm.
saying, how do we reduce harm among this population of people who are all equal to each other?
Mhm.
Whereas they have a vertical system of morality which is just like I could think in my heart and look at like, just follow the logic and see that this isn't actually hurting anyone. But like Sky Daddy in this book says that it's bad, so therefore I have to vote against these policies. I have to, you know, turn off my empathy systems because if I turn them on and I'm actually nice to this queer couple who's married and I don't take away their rights, I don't vote to take away their rights, then I'm disobeying like all of the people who are above me, like whether that's Donald Trump, whether that's Jesus, whether that's whoever. And when you get into that sort of system where it's like religiously, you have no problem with an authoritarian God, why would you have a problem with an authoritarian
President.
politician?
Hmm.
Yeah.
If you have no
Hmm.
problem with a God who's going to send people to an eternal concentration camp in the
Hmm.
center of the
Hmm.
earth,
Hmm.
why would you have a problem with a politician who's going to send, you know, people to Alligator Alcatraz without due process?
It's an excellent framing,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
And it really gets to like some of the real weirdness around the ways that people don't interrogate their belief systems, right? And I remember having debates with people when I was at a different stage of my life and felt like I needed to entertain a certain kind of foolishness that I no longer believe in, where they would talk about would say certain things about, no, I love queer people, but I don't believe in same-sex marriage, and listening to like the kind of mental gymnastics around the idea that somebody can love you but not think you deserve rights or don't think that you deserve the same rights that they do, or feel for some bizarre reason if you have access to a thing that it means that it somehow has some reflection on whatever access or use or thinking that they have about the same thing. And I would I don't know what was wrong with me, but I would really try to have these conversations where I felt like either not even that I could convince them, but I felt like maybe I could make some sense for myself of where these perspectives were coming from instead of kind of recognizing this is a good old-fashioned lapse in logic that is rooted in a very, very profound belief that other people don't have the same level of personhood
Hmm.
that you have.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's just what it is, right? And the number of
Yep.
people in our society who cannot locate empathy unless there is a direct relationship to the other person is profound. And to me, that is not empathy, that's something else. But like if you really think about how many people all of a sudden, if you happen to be on TikTok at all, who are suddenly talking about, oh, now fill in the blank affects me, and I kind of get what other people were saying. Oh, that's what you meant about tariffs. Yeah, my business is now in the
Hmm.
shitter, but now I get what you were saying about tariffs, and these are awful. And I'm like, wow, wow, it really took all of that. You couldn't have put one and one together and come out with a simple two? No. All right, well,
It's just the way that people are just willingly divorcing themselves, not only from logic, but just like their own human nature in order to like tie themselves into a pretzel in order to like appease God, Donald Trump. I don't know who their pastor in their little evangelical space in the world. I don't know because like to me it's like I in like what you're talking about, Lee, like I always tend to think of like the parents who are like loving my queer child means putting them out and disowning them until they decide that they're not queer anymore and they want to come and, come to church with us or whatever. And it's just like I'm not a parent, but my understanding of it is that, like, you have a kid, they are evolutionarily designed for us
mhm,
to want to love them and protect them and take care of them. Um, and just the way you have to sort of consciously divorce yourself from your own nature in order
Yep.
to believe that like disowning your queer child so that they live out on the streets and God knows what could happen to them. Well, they just have to go through that experience so then they can like, enjoy the blood of Jesus or whatever the fuck. Like it's crazy. It's actually crazy.
yeah. Well, I frequently try to, I guess I still try to like find the logical through line to like how we got here.
I just
And
okay. You go
well,
find it.
no, no, no. It's it's just not it's not present,
It's
right?
not. It's
It's
not.
not present. And the numbers of people who will identify like as an ideology a particular thing without understanding the ideology. I mean, obviously the sort of pieces around the Hebrew Bible and the very selective passages that these tweed wearing, shrimp loving people have found in Leviticus are always interesting to me because I also grew up in a religious family. I read the Bible cover to cover 3 times as an adult so that I absolutely knew what I thought and also could respond to people around me around what they thought. Like, no, 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 that is not what it says. And let me tell you what it actually does, right? And even in
Mhm.
those moments, seeing that people can still be like, oh, well, do do do. It very well may say what you say it does, but I am sitting over here luxuriating in my homophobia, and that's just kind of what I believe and what I want. And oh, and by the way, I also hate working class people. Like that kind of thing, like there's nothing you can do with it. There is no common ground.
Mm-mm.
There is no
Mm-mm.
convincing. And I feel like it is okay for us to say that some people are a lost cause and just keep it
Yep.
moving because
Mhm.
it's not worth my good energy. It's just not.
And it's not based on logic. The place
It's
that
not.
we've got to and that they get to, it's not based on logic. It's completely based on fear, It's based on there's a kind of way that especially conservative and evangelical Christianity is made to quell uncertainty that comes with life. You do these things, you follow the Bible to a T, and like it guarantees you're a good person and you're better than everyone else. And why can't the other people in the world just also do this thing and just do right? Like the instructions are right there, you know?
Mhm.
Um, when what I've learned is like that's not even there's more than one way to even read the Bible. You do not have to read the Bible as the absolute law. It
No.
could be
Yep. Yep.
a
I don't think it was
collection of
ever
stories.
meant to be read that
No,
way.
there are some things that are purely in there to show you what not to do.
Right.
There are some things that are in there that are like, well, this is just what happened at the time. I ain't saying you got to replicate it, but here's what happened in this one place. And but we're not taught to read it like that because
Mm-mm.
other people would rather use it as a tool to control others and say, see, look here. See, look
Yep.
here. Like this is against the will of God, or this is the will of God, or we're allowed to conquer these other people in order to claim more space for the kingdom of heaven and whatnot, and all of that. Like people read it very literally because it allows them to control others.
Yeah.
And that's all that's about. It is not logic. It is all based on people having some false sense of certainty granted to them by a big sky daddy who is abusive, but if you follow all his rules, even if it makes you miserable and those around you miserable or makes you violent towards yourself and those
Hmm.
around you, at least you following the rules and you're gonna go to heaven, and all those other people ain't.
And that last
It ain't
piece is
based
a
on logic.
really, really big, it's a really big part of it, right? Like we get this and you don't.
Hmm.
We
Yeah.
have been in the right. All of these decisions, all of these things that we have done, it means that we are up here and you are down here simply by virtue of this. And even if it means like in the moment of being able to espouse a set of beliefs, you can say a sentence with three internal contradictions and you never have to process any of it, even when it's creating chaos in your own
Mm-hmm.
life. And it's like, this can't be what you want. Like
It
this
can't be.
can't be what you want, right?
It can't be. I just like, and you see all the time, like with like Drag Race, for instance, which we're about to talk about. Like, one of the things that's lovely about not having that worldview is getting to see all of the color, the
Hmm.
fun, the excitement, the artistry, the creativity that is on offer on this planet, even though we are living in this time that is insane, that is crazy, where it seems like the lost causes have kind of taken over and are winning. There's still so much life, so much spice, so much cool shit out there to
Hmm.
see and do
Hmm.
and experience. Um, and they know that.
Yeah.
And so then that's why they come over into our spaces and they're like, why won't you let us be here? We just want to, enjoy, this meal or this music or wear these clothes without like having to like answer for any of the harmful shit that we're doing when we're not in this space. Or any of the harmful shit that we're doing that affects this space when we're not in it. So they know. They get it. They know that like over there they have to like obey all of these rules, and if they step out of line even a little bit, even one little pinky toe over the line, nope, Sky Daddy says you're going to, concentration camp hell for the rest of eternity, and there's no hope of redemption.
Mm-mm.
There's no nothing. There's no getting out of it. You are just there for the rest of eternity, getting a fire poker shoved up your butt or whatever. and we're over here just sort of enjoying our lives. And if that is the case, then I guess, I earned it. But like it I just don't understand why we are in this place where we are making each other miserable on purpose. It's
Well,
insane to
Mm.
me.
there's a saying from the Christian world, I believe. What what has been joined by God, let no man put asunder, right? And I think we are engaged in a long conversation around having civil society in something that actually does need to be torn asunder. I
hmm
don't think that we
Mm.
have to be connected quite in this way. And when I think about these conversations that come up every couple of years around like Texas wants to secede or California wants to secede, and I'm like, there's reason for
Go
it.
for it. Yeah.
We're not doing the same thing over here. And when I think about the idea that maybe there is a version of going forward where maybe this kind of 350 million people connected in a two-party system around a bunch of things where there are so many like fundamental disagreements about who is a part of the society. That to me says that we are doing something very, very different, right? And that there is a question to me about if we're supposed to be continuing to do it together. And I think maybe it's time for that conversation because these folks who really want to live in a place where um, based on like what you were born as, that is the determinant about how you get to participate in the society. I don't want that one. I don't want to participate in that society. I don't believe that that's a thing. I think if you don't think that everybody actually should be able to participate simply because they exist, then I think you are doing a different project than me. And maybe you should do your project, but that doesn't mean that we are doing it together. I don't
Yeah.
I don't want to participate in that. I don't want to be involved with those people who wake up and think what's happening right now with these masked racist maniacs snatching mothers and children apart on the street, that's a thing. That is not a thing in my world. And I don't want to be in the world where it's a thing or where we vaccinate dogs but not people. Like I don't know what that is. Like I don't get it and I don't want to. And I want y'all to do what y'all are doing over there.
And furthermore, I don't understand why you want me to participate in it.
Well, because they want
Other
to
th
control you.
other than you want somebody to blame when your obviously bad policies go tits up.
Yeah. I mean that that
Yep.
that that is it,
I
right?
mean,
Like,
that's exactly it. And
yeah.
why would I want to be a part of that? It reminds me of like in high school, they tried to do this whole democratic situation where it was like we want to we're thinking about changing the athletic requirement whereas like for extracurriculars like you had to take like two sports a year and then you could do whatever else you wanted and us theater kids were like or we could not do that and we could actually just like do like theater and music and actually like get good at the things that we are good at and that we want to do, you know, in our actual lives after this high school experience is over. So yeah, why don't we just like get rid of that entirely? And they had like this town hall with like the students, and it was all these like, you know, jocks going up there like, no, you have to play football, like blah 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 blah. And it's just like, well, why do you want me on the football team? Like, why do you
Right.
want me
Right.
on your
That
football?
part.
Don't you want to win your little football games? Why can't I just go be in like Bye Bye Birdie or whatever the fuck and you and excel over there and you go win your little football games and like we'll go and we'll cheer for you. Yay, you won. And you can come and see our play and be like, "Yay, you did a good job in the play." And then you don't have to be in the play
Mhm.
and we don't have to be on the football field. And they were like, no, because you're boys and that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to play football. And it was just like, it makes no sense. And it's
Makes
just
no
like, do you
sense.
just want me to be there so that when you lose your little football game, you can be like, it's their fault? Like what is the but yeah, I mean I think your point about control is probably correct. It's just like boys do this and girls do this and boys play football and girls do plays and
I mean it's something that I feel like Paige said, I don't know, maybe it was like 3 years 3 years ago on the show, something to the effect around how there are moments where having to consider something about gender not being what you think it is as being one of the most destabilizing things for a lot of people. And since you have said that, I know I'm paraphrasing, or what I recently heard someone refer to as parrot phrasing, but which I kind of like and might have to use now. But I really have like taken that and thought about it in a million different ways for the last couple of years, because I think there is the thing, right? The threat to the social order that is presented by people who are not conforming to gender ideals, but also not conforming to class warfare, not conforming to the roles that their race or ethnicity are supposed to drop them in. We represent nothing but the threat. And all they can think about
Mhm.
is we are a thing to be neutralized in the moment before they have to consider what it means for them, what is hiding in the dark recesses of their own psyches around how fun it might be to slide into a pair of heels, or how okay they are with it when somebody else is sliding to a pair of heels. Like whatever the thing is, that is at so much the core of it, just the idea of having to think about what it might mean if some brown person whose family is from Central America isn't really the reason they can't keep a job, or that some perfectly delightful trans woman is the reason they can't keep a man. Like whatever
Ooh.
the situation is, that's what they don't want to have to think about, right? And that's what they need to think about.
Period. Hmm. Think about it and leave us out of it.
Clark it.
Leave us out of it.
Leave us the fuck out of it. Jesus Christ, not us being secessionists. Jesus Christ. Well, y'all, I think the people I could talk about this all day and we should have a whole episode of this, but I think the people came to hear us talk about Drag Race. Today, I'll make sure I put some timestamps on the show notes in case you're not a place where you're ready to absorb that. But we'll be right back with a little chit chat about season 11, episode 6 of RuPaul's Drag Race. We'll be right back. All right, and we are back. This week we are talking about, as I said before, season 11, episode 6, the Draglympics. And, yo, what the fuck was this? What was this? I mean, this might be a short recap because
This.
I don't have much to say because I don't understand what I just watched.
I was just constantly asking why.
Why?
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 And I feel like this is a type of challenge that they were doing for a few seasons, and then they must have just stopped because people were getting hurt, and it just, on a very fundamental level, doesn't make sense. Like, what is this that we're doing? Is this a lip sync? Is this a choreography thing? How are they being judged? What is the criteria? All these compulsory elements that they're talking about,
So many elements.
but they're not choreographing it themselves. So,
Right.
what are they being judged on? Like the execution of what they're. Why are the routines so long?
So
Why was
long.
it so long?
Like, of course, people are gonna get hurt. Of course, Evie's gonna break her ankle. These are not trained gymnasts or Olympic athletes who are being made to go out and do flips and tricks and things when that is not their bag. And poor Silky, poor Evie, poor Scarlett, frankly.
I
Poor
mean,
Scarlet.
yeah, it was everything about it was unsatisfying. Anytime one of the guest judges is the best dressed person, because the only outfit that I saw that I actually thought anything of came from Travis Wall.
Hmm.
Like
Mhm.
I was not feeling this episode, and as a matter of fact, I had to pause at one point and ask the camera, who do you think should go home tonight and why? Because I was ready to send Rue and Michelle home. I wasn't feeling it. It wasn't for me. I was not the target demo, and I thought it was stupish.
Basically.
Yeah.
It was just all over the
Yeah.
place. It was
Well,
all over the place.
so that was sort of rapid fire our initial thoughts, but I guess let's get into it. So we rejoin the queens as they come back into the workroom after Ariel's elimination. Remember Ariel Versace? My goodness, that feels like
Never.
that was like 1,000 years
Wow.
ago. And Sugar still thinks her outfit was cute.
Which,
Delusional.
yeah, drag
Delusion.
delusion, full on drag delusion.
Absolutely. And then Evie's just coming for everybody. She's coming for Vanjie. She's coming for Silky. She's coming for Raja. She is not here for the bullshit at all. She said, Vanjie, all you wear are leotards and bodysuits, and you put glitter on yourself. And the judges are just saying, we have a fabric wall, we have notions, we have zippers and bobbins and bells and whistles. Put some of them on your outfit. Wrap some fabric around your waist and make a skirt so that, your punani is not out on the runway all the time. That's all they're saying. They're saying that they're tired of saying these girls don't want to hear it
No, they don't
at
want to
all.
hear it.
At
But you know
all.
what? As the episode progressed, I really understood where Evie Oddly's coming from now.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Hmm.
if I woke up every day feeling like my bones are slipping out of their sockets away from each other, and I still got in here and turned out looks and gave you interesting things and gave you imagination and creativity and excellence, and the rest of these bitches are just phoning it in with the bodysuit every week, I'd be pissed too.
Oh,
I'd
Oh,
be
absolutely.
pissed.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'd be a bitch. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Like if I
Yeah.
knew I had this condition where I wouldn't be able to do this art form
Hmm.
in 10 years, and these people are coming in here looking raggedy and crazy, like Silky has holes in her shirt. I would be Law Roach to the bullshit as well. Just like I did not wake up this morning to come to work and look at ugly clothes. Like,
Mhm.
so shout out to Evie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know she just looking at them like, look at all y'all got collagen in your bodies and still can't execute a dance routine to save your life. Still can't utilize that to walk yourself over to the sewing machine. Get it together. Oh, I'd be a terror if I were Evie. I'd be terrible. She's being nice.
Too
She
nice.
kind of is, and I know that she has moments in Untucked, which we're not currently watching, where she comes a little bit harder. And I still think, even though she wins the season, and I think now she's regarded as somebody who is, beloved in the franchise. But I think even like at the time, directly after her win, I remember people still like having like smoke for her and like she's mean and it's
Hmm.
all about her delivery and blah 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 blah. And it's just like. Oh no, honey, she was right about literally everything.
All of it. She clocked
All
every
of it.
second of it. Yep.
All of it. And if you look at Raja now, if you look at Silky now, like
Yeah.
they took her advice. You look at
Uh,
Sugar Cane now, beautiful,
mm-hmm.
gorgeous, gorgeous
Mm-hmm.
fashions, gorgeous makeup, gorgeous wigs. I'd like to think that all stemmed from Evie giving them all a little verbal kick in the butt.
Because they needed it.
Step it up.
Yeah, they
Hmm.
all of them. Like this is such a it is such an interesting season because Evie was very present but not dominant in terms of winning a lot. I guess it's not really a spoiler for something that happened 5 years ago, but I think she like wins one challenge over the course of the season, or maybe at most two, right? Like she doesn't like sit over the group in the way that sometimes like Sasha Colby, like it was
Hmm.
it was over from the first episode. So I don't think that it was landing on them in quite the way that it must make sense if when you go back and rewatch it. I don't know how most of them cannot look at the majority of what they wore and not feel like, oh yeah, I looked like I wasn't quite ready to be on TV. um
And yes, 100% to everything that you just said, because like later on in the episode, Miss Vanjie is crying because she feels like she's underperforming,
she
and
is.
which she is, but I just okay. Like, can we go back to 2019, 2018, whenever this was? And can we just remember the cultural phenomenon that Miss Vanjie was
Oh
for
yeah.
like a year?
Hmm.
Like,
Hmm.
And
even
well
if you
earned.
didn't watch Drag Race, you knew Miss Vanjie,
Hmm.
whatever. She is all up in the fashion shows and the movie premieres, like Marc Jacobs' birthday party, all of these things. So you know what's expected of you.
Oh, absolutely.
And you have access now to like Jacobs' whole showroom. I bet he would let you in and just let you pick whatever you wanted, and then you could walk down that stage just stomping all over everyone. And you did not do that. Why is that? Why is that? And then you're gonna sit there and you're gonna blame Evie for pointing it out? That's crazy.
Yeah. No, it really, really was. And we watch a lot of reality TV at our house. And I think the consistent thing is it takes a certain amount of hubris to put yourself in a reality competition to say, I am surely one of the best fill in the blanks in the country or in the world right now, right? And obviously one of them every season is going to be. But what that also might mean for your ability to absorb something in the moment and be able to make a pivot
Hmm.
to it, right? Like that really is a skill set that it takes a long time to develop. And I feel like sometimes what we see is like either a lot of youth or a lot of somebody having a lot of time where nobody was ever critiquing what they were doing in that way. And all of a sudden now they're like, I'm 37, child. You can't tell me this. And
Hmm.
I think it's frequently one of the two. But for Vanjie, I think part of why we were seeing the emotion is because she isn't that thing. And she could hear that there was something very accurate in what Evie says, because as ugly as sometimes it comes out, it just feels like it feels like tea,
It
right?
has the ring of truth.
Yeah, it really does.
Hmm.
Evie is that friend that I wish on everybody who is just going to tell you sometimes, girl, you need to, this isn't it. Can you not? Because if you don't have that, you will just walk through life with a bodysuit and glitter on your chest and really think that that's enough.
That glitter. This glitter, season 11 with the glitter.
Season 11,
Ban it.
somebody needs to tell
Mm-mm.
us what was going on in the world. Was there like a worldwide glitter overage and people were just like, let me just put it all over my body to make sure that we are using it so it doesn't go to waste? Like what was really happening? Because it's not just Vanjie.
It's
Mm-mm.
not.
If I were one of the judges at one point, I would have been okay. No more.
No more.
Just none.
No more.
None. If you wear it, I'm sending you home.
Okay,
No more.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna postpone the runway. All of you are gonna take a long shower. You're gonna get dressed again, and we're gonna try this one more time.
Exactly.
And we know that Rue is capable of it because she read them to pieces over the H&M, right? So like she clearly can say to people, we don't want this, we do want this. And
Michelle
I,
said this past season we don't want any more Marie Antoinette.
right.
We are done with the Marie
We're
Antoinette.
done with Marie
Thank you so
Antoinette.
Hmm.
much.
And people better have heard it, right?
Ay,
Yeah.
ay,
You can't
ay.
tell these drag queens anything. You
No,
just
it's
can't.
true.
Not a
It's
single
true.
thing.
Not a single thing. And
Mm.
God love them. Okay, so we have a little mini challenge, calisthenics. It's a little 80s aerobics dance moment with Love Connie. And I know that Love Connie has been on the show a few times. Am I
Many
supposed to
times.
know who Love Connie is?
I was
Yes,
wondering.
you're
Oh, I
supposed to.
am.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, kind of, right?
yes.
But I feel like it's one of those moments where the show is leaning more into drag culture than I think most of the viewers lean into it. Like the only reason I even
Mm,
paused to figure out who she was by the time she'd been on the show for like the third time
Hmm.
and was like, okay, clearly I'm the one who's out of the loop, so let me not be ignorant. And then sought her out and was like, oh, this is funny. This is cute. I get it. If I were a drag queen, I'd be all over this. But I do feel like for the uninitiated, just a hair of an introduction, a little bit of context,
Yeah.
a little bit of something. This is who this person is for y'all to know. Nothing wrong with that, right?
I mean, I guess Rue was like, y'all have to google.com. It's free
Right,
99, so.
right.
But I don't know. It would have been nice.
It would have been very nice,
It would
right?
have been nice. Anyway, so they dance, whatever. Again, who knows what the judging criteria is, but Akira and Plastique win. And the main challenge this week is the Draglympics. And basically, they're in teams of five. They have to dance these very long routines. There are compulsory elements, there's fanography, voguing, and shablam, which
Shablam, my
se-
God.
seems to consist of just one shablam that they
Yes.
have to do at some point. But the teams are Akira, Brooklyn, Silky, Evie, and Suga versus Plastique, Raja, Vanjie, Nina, and Scarlett. And I'm Plastique. What are you doing with you had the opportunity to pick your team. That's a wild. Let me read that again. Plastique, Raja, Vanjie, Nina, and Scarlett. I'm just saying. Okay.
Yep, yep, yep.
Turkmenistan versus Glamazonia are the nations that they will be representing, and they will be coached by choreographer Travis Wall and figure skater Adam Rippon.
This the t
See, like I don't even know how you talk about this challenge. Like, how do you talk about this? Like, they practice the choreography. Both teams are kind of bad, but there are a couple of standouts on each.
Mm-hmm.
Like Brooklyn is great,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Vanjie is great, Raja is great in rehearsal, but then I guess Brooks it in rehearsal. I forgot that Raja can't dance. Um, like I'm just trying to look at my notes, and it's just like things that I've already said. Like if this thing is entirely choreographed, what are they being judged on? Like you would think that like in a challenge like this, it would be like they choreograph it themselves, but then add these compulsory elements. And maybe they did because I didn't see a lot of the choreography that they were working on in the rehearsal, much like with the last challenge.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then again, like I just didn't feel like it was particularly accessible or inclusive of, different body types and sizes and disabilities, and that made me feel
Anything
weird.
else's? Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and then they came out and they did their little dances, and it was really weird.
It's so weird.
Because they're talking about climate change and they're talking about feeding the children and they're talking about, and then it's like these two mega mixes of like drag race queen quotes and like sometimes they lip sync and sometimes they don't. And there's flips and tricks and little comedy moments and then it's over. Like, what do we say?
Mm-hmm.
I just had so many questions. Why? So many questions. Why? Why? Why were the performances so long? Why? Why? This sounds like a way for people to really, yeah, push themselves and even hurt themselves, as you were saying earlier,
Hmm.
like injuries for the sake of having another challenge, I guess, where they're that's performance heavy, where they're like singing, not wait, no, there wasn't even singing. They're dancing. They're I didn't get it. I was like, y'all must be very comfortable in whatever kind of waivers you had them sign to avoid liability for any kind of injury, because just why?
Is it 2 seasons before this, they did a similar-ish challenge where they were cheerleaders and they had to do cheer routines.
Okay.
And they're flipping and flopping and whatever. And Eureka like broke her leg and had to
Mm-hmm.
leave the competition.
Oh
So I'm
shit.
just like, why are we doing this again?
I feel like one of there has been a very long trajectory of reality TV playing around with the notion of people getting really hurt. Um, Whether it's been the number of people on like the Gordon Ramsay franchises who end up cutting themselves and sometimes really badly on these like
Hmm.
super speed chopping things, or the
Yeah.
kind of emotional abuse that Tyra Banks was both encouraged and seemed to luxuriate in doing,
Oh
and
boy.
years
Ooh.
of not, what was it, America's Next Top Model. Let's find the thing that you feel really good about and then shave your head, like
Yeah.
that kind of thing. And I think, now we're in a place where we're just a little bit better about it. So when we see these vestiges of, reality TV, part of the appeal being somebody could actually get bitten by a snake. And I think that's some of what this is, until there ends up being a really, really big lawsuit, a la the Jenny Jones show back in the
Hmm.
90s when
Mhm.
that queer person was killed after that very weird episode she did. Like, until the lawyers literally walk in the room and say, stop this foolishness, the producers are just wild and are very comfortable with the notion of somebody, you know, maybe hurting themselves, maybe embarrassing themselves, because it's probably very good for ratings. And I think that's a little bit of what we were seeing. Somebody could, Evie, with all these body situations, could absolutely fall in a pair of 7-inch heels. And boy, would that be good TV to somebody, right? I don't know. I don't like it. It makes me super uncomfortable, but I think there are a lot of people who are watching for that moment,
Which is unfortunate.
which is evil.
It's
Like, I mean, that's
sad.
not entertainment. You only want something bad to happen to people you hate, not just random people on TV.
And it was just, and it also looked like they were doing, these routines in heels and whatnot, and it looked like the floor was slippery.
Probably was.
Whatever like
Mm.
surface they were like trying to dance on, it did not look like it was like Marley floor or whatever. It looked like it was meant to replicate an ice rink, which also just doesn't make sense. And then just to see like multiple people like slipping. while they're trying to do these steps. It was awful. It wasn't
And
entertaining. It was like it was scary to watch.
and then these shady ass producers have the audacity to make the lip sync song Last Dance. And you just have to wonder, like, what is really happening over there? Like, I don't know, this whole season to me is like weird and mean-spirited in so many ways.
Ugh. Unfortunately, I think you're right that some people do like to see people get hurt
Yeah.
and do like actually like physically hurt. That is not entertaining to me
Me
on
either.
Mm-mm.
reality television.
No, I just
Mm-mm.
like emotional
I
torture.
cringe. Right.
Anyway, I think the less said about that challenge, the better, because it was just weird and confounding, and I don't have a whole lot to say about it more. So, shall we just get to these hideous runway looks?
I've been waiting for it all
Okay,
day.
let me share my screen and we can look at it together. Okay, can y'all see?
Yeah.
Hmm, hmm.
Okay, so the category is all that glitters. Speaking of glitter, more glitter, as if we needed more glitter. So first up, we have Miss Ikuria, looking like RuPaul,
I was really thinking that.
given that Texas pageant, a big old gold gown with mermaid tail, feathers, big hair, big jewels, padded to the gods. I think she looks good.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's nothing
Agreed.
groundbreaking, but it's beautiful Texas pageant drag.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. She looks beautiful,
Yeah, she
as
does.
Akira often does.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Hmm.
One of my favorite wigs of the season. They don't ever spend enough time talking about wigs on the show, just kind of sidebar. But this is one of my favorites of the season, and I thought it was a very successful look. I was pleased.
Hmm.
All right, next up we have Miss Brooklyn Heights giving Norma Desmond old Hollywood with a turban and a feather boa. First of all, this is not glitter, this is lame. I'm just
Say
saying.
that. Say it. Need it to
Well,
be said. There's no glitter on this.
There's no glitter
Just a
anywhere.
dull sheen.
I mean, I guess she looks good for what she's kind of giving sort of,
Halloween.
I was gonna say, yeah, like Spirit Halloween Glenn Close.
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
it didn't do anything for me. I also felt like the symmetry of her breast pieces was a little off. Like I think she could have been better padded. I didn't care for it. I just didn't. I think Brooke is better than this look. And even this look, you could have gone so much further because it's so campy, right? And
Hmm.
yeah, it's a no for me, dog.
I think it was a good idea. I just don't think it was executed to the
Mm-mm.
best of her ability. I think
Completely
now,
agree.
if it was like, give us Norma Desmond in 2025, Brooke
Right.
would turn this look out.
Oh, absolutely.
And it would be something like you've never seen before. But yeah, this
Yeah.
is what it is.
Hmm.
Nina West.
Oh God. Yeah. She should have been sent home for this look and then banned from the franchise. It is one of my least favorite things I have seen on a Homo sapiens. I didn't get it. I don't know why she had it on because it also isn't glittery. It
It's
was
not glittery.
Mm-mm.
So she's giving
oh,
sort of Viking, uh, operatic. What do you even call this? Like she's got the Viking horn. She's got a giant breastplate. She's got weird little booties. She's got
the booties. My
She's got two
Oh
long
God,
braids.
I had
She's
to
got
notice those.
a
Oh,
gold skirt. What is the skirt? That's a weird length.
looks cheap.
Like she's going for like Viking warrior princess, I guess, but like Vanjie, the tights don't match the arms. It, the makeup is weird and severe. The eye makeup is it's just all wrong.
It's
It's all wrong.
awful. Yeah, no, nothing about it works.
From
I get
tip
that
to
she's
Nothing.
tail.
con I get that she's very committed to the camp thing, but this would have been the perfect challenge to show us something
Yeah,
different.
Hmm.
yeah.
Give us glitter, gold, glam, something different, not whatever this was.
And I'm not mad at camp. Like
No,
it's a
neither
No,
am
drag,
not
it's
at
a
I.
it's a
all.
drag
Not
competition.
at
Of
all.
course,
Yeah.
be campy, be campy
I
as hell.
I love how committed she is to it, but
Hmm.
this is not it.
This is not it.
It's not cute. It's also giving cheap costume.
Yeah.
And I also think Nina's better than this. Like
Hmm.
it's a whole bunch of nothing for me.
All right, thank you, Miss Nina West. Moving on to Plastique Tiara, giving another winged look. She's wearing a short gold dress with a beautiful sort of feather. What are we calling that? A shrug. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you
and
call it that.
two large white wings and some antennas. She sort of looks like an insect crossed with an angel.
Yeah, I was definitely getting moth.
Yeah, like
Uh,
moth. There you go, like a
uh,
glittery moth.
it is glittery. The hose are glittery. I think she fulfilled the brief. If you have a problem with plastique, it's never going to be what she looks like, even though
Right.
I didn't necessarily
Yeah.
care for the shoe. Um,
And the
but
wig.
I didn't, yeah, you have, it's a drag show. I need a lot of hair. I need a
Yeah,
lot of hair.
she's wearing a little pussycat wig from the Monet collection.
Yeah. And yeah, we didn't like that. We didn't want it. Nobody asked for it. We didn't need it.
And speaking of Monet, friend of the show, go put your protein powder in something else before you go into the TSA and clearly label it or something, because you cannot just pull out a giant freezer bag
No,
full
you
of
cannot.
white powder at the
You cannot.
TSA and think
What?
that.
I did not hear about this, but
Hmm.
wow. Girl, no, you cannot do that.
She was, I was with her up until she pulled out what she actually tried to take through the TSA. Just a giant Ziploc bag full of white powder. And it was like, ma'am. We love you. We love you so much, Monet, but
As a person who travels with protein powder, my travel protein powder is when I will take either the chocolate or the berry or the
mm-hmm.
pea, something that isn't white,
Right.
specifically for that reason, because nobody's got time to be in TSA custody. Like that's not,
no.
yeah,
No, no.
that's,
The last thing I have time for.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. No, I had to get patted down because the little machine said that I had
Ooh.
so yeah, no, it said I had something in my nether regions. And I was just like, okay, yeah, use the back of your hand. Go for it. Gotta take it where you can get it. All right, Raja O'Hara. Raja O'Hara in a homemade bodysuit. With a face covering, sort of giving sort of a translucent sort of kitty moment, sort of an animal print. But is this glitter? I don't know.
Also
It
not
kind of looks
glitter.
no, and it kind of looks church lady-ish.
Hmm. Hmm.
Which I'm not
Yeah.
necessarily mad at.
No, I don't. This is
I
one of
mean,
my
it's
more favorite
fine.
looks of the week because at least it doesn't look like, she swung past Party City on the way to the airport to join Drag Race. Like there's clearly some level of intentionality there. Again, I had an issue with the shoe and the wig though.
Hmm.
Like for me, a lot of these outfits just weren't, maybe they were incomplete in the conception. I don't know. I look good in gold. So I feel like I would have like gone all out for this particular challenge. So I was surprised at what we got.
Oh, is the runway thing? Oh, I thought it was all that glitters, but according to this, it's all that glitters is gold. So is the
Hmm.
runway challenge gold or glitter?
I thought it was gold that glitters because it is possible to have both,
Yes.
right?
Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
But, clearly, whatever the memo was, none of us got it because we didn't get a lot of glitter and we feel very unsatisfied with what we're seeing.
Okay. Well, then maybe I will make a tiny correction to what I said about Brooke.
Oh, I don't. I don't.
All right, Scarlet Envy giving us Dollar Store Halloween costume Lana Del Rey. She says that it is a rich hippie, which doesn't make sense to me,
It
but
did not.
okay.
Oh.
A long gown, again with sort of a sheer glittery fabric, flat red wig,
So flat.
which I don't understand with the butterfly clips in it. She's wearing silver jewelry with her gold outfit, which to me, I, I know mixed metals is in 2025, but
Well, this wasn't the week for it, given what the
no,
challenge was.
precisely.
You know, I there's something about Scarlett that I think I would enjoy. Like if she and I worked together and she was like a person that like I went to happy hour with every couple of weeks, I think we'd be like good work Judies. I really do think that. Um I was glad to see her go home this week because I feel like this was not her season. She never,
Mm-mm.
whatever, there was a thing to figure out and she just never was in possession of what it was. I feel like she's like one of the ones who I don't think sees herself clearly this season, right? Like there was some level of drag delusion because I just felt like this outfit, while it is gold and it does appear to be glittery, I don't believe that you thought this was going to land you in the top two. Like I just don't believe you thought that. I don't believe that.
Yeah, and she's another one that's come back a few times
Few
and
times.
certainly has stepped
Mm.
it up. I think the most recent one where she was UK versus the world, I think she
Yeah.
looked gorgeous that whole
The
season.
whole season. She figured it. I mean, I guess you see yourself on TV a couple of times. You figure
Hmm.
out this looks cute, this doesn't. I need
I need
to.
to do this, I need
I
to
would hope
not
so.
do that, but
Can I give a very, very brief rant about
yes.
these girls real quick?
Hmm.
I think the I think the drag artists who are conventionally attractive young men get very confused about the amount of work it may take to be a conventionally attractive young woman
Hmm.
in drag, right?
Wow.
Because I think some of these um boys who like have great bodies as boys, right? And I think in this kind of context, it's about sort of that, prepubescent twink moment that also maybe works in high fashion for women models. You can't be on Drag Race and not pad, right? You can't just not,
Hmm.
note for, the lovely Marsha that she kept getting a couple seasons ago. No matter how pretty your face is, you have to put makeup on it, right? You may
Hmm.
have beautiful hair when you are out of drag, like Scarlett does, but when you are in drag, you actually need to put on three, four big wigs. Like I think there's just a piece that doesn't necessarily translate if you in your regular life are somebody who can just navigate it and not have to do a whole lot, as opposed to maybe some of the other ones who don't see themselves that way, who understands I need to paint, I need to build me a body, I need to, put on pounds and pounds and pounds of hair because there's an illusion that I actually have to make.
Yeah,
This is a theory that I have.
no, and I think you're absolutely correct.
Absolutely
And it's
clocked
not
it.
just about like oh being fishy or like, being it's because it doesn't read
It
on
doesn't read
camera and it doesn't
anything.
read on the stage.
Yeah.
Like you have to go bigger. Like the
Yeah.
same way that like you have to amplify your voice. Like you
Mm-hmm.
have to like
Mm-hmm.
amplify your body.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to like deconstruct that couch and put it in your outfit. It's just part of the
Yeah.
gig.
Yeah. You really have to. And it's kind of amazing to me that like Plastique, who I feel like is very, very attractive in and out of drag. And I'm sure that a lot of it is very, very much a curated kind of a thing, but clearly has figured out there's a
Hmm.
lot to do to put that on, no matter how you are
Hmm.
presenting yourself. And I think one of the things that we see on this show is that in their first season, a lot of them don't know that. Like they don't know that it's not reading. They don't know if they're black, that they're coming off as being super orange because these TV lights are very different from the club lights. Like
Hmm.
there's just a lot to figure out. And I don't know. I think it kind of fucks Scarlett up a little bit on this season, I think.
I think that's a fair theory.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
extremely fair. Hmm.
Well, we only have a couple minutes, so let's burn through the rest of this. So, sugarcane giving Aztec warrior princess gold bodysuit, blue feathers, weird headdress that doesn't really fit her head.
It was gold and glittery, so I
Yeah,
mean, I guess if
so
there was that,
I mean,
but
I'm just saying. Silky,
No,
yeah. Speaking of church
absolutely
ladies,
not.
yeah,
was this meant to be like a choir robe turned into a jumpsuit? Is
No, ma'am.
it is
Mm-mm.
ugly, it's unflattering, it's not giving glamour, which is all she was talking about at the beginning of the episode. Like, you get spooky, I give glamour.
where?
Where is the glamour?
Yeah,
My eyes are starved for glamour. Ah, Miss Vanjie giving us
nothing.
Nothing but a
robotic
whole lot of
Playboy Bunny
glamour.
Ho is what she described it as. But it is a gold leotard with gold bunny ears and gold gloves, none of which match. All are from completely different outfits. Uh, she has painted her arms and shoulders gold and put glitter all over them. Did nothing with her legs, so she looks crazy.
So weird.
Yeah, no, this.
Yeah. Okay. And finally, we have Evie Oddly, which I forgot to write down how she described this, but it's sort of like an old saloon woman, I guess, or a madam.
I mean, if she said so, I didn't get it. Like
I didn't get it.
I just really didn't get it. But
I
there
think
were
that,
so many horrors on the runway this week that it wasn't even didn't make the top three horrors for me, but I really didn't get the look.
Right.
yeah, I mean, I think this is one of Evie's rare misfires that just doesn't make a whole. I don't even really know how to describe it. Like, it's kind of a
No.
dress with like a bra and a panty underneath, with a crown with a large headdress on it. She's got a cane that she's walking with because she broke her ankle or whatever in the challenge. She pulls up her dress at the end of the runway and shows her whole ass, I guess. So good for
When
her for that.
when in doubt.
When in doubt, when in doubt. But yeah, it's not a great look. It's not a great look and not a
No.
great runway, but I think Akira won that handily.
Absolutely.
And she wins the entire episode. Her team wins the challenge. So congratulations to Akira. We don't really hear any critiques at all for the winning team, other than good job, Akira and Evie. What happened? The judges are joined by figure skater Mirai Nagasu, which I guess is a 2018 reference because I don't remember her, but good for her. Michelle looks crazy.
Insane.
Like, how dare you critique anyone on any of their outfits and you were looking like that? I don't understand. They tell Nina that she needs to pad more. They tell
Agreed.
Vanjie that she
Agreed.
looks boring and crazy.
Agreed.
They tell Scarlett that no to any of this. You need some confidence. And then they proceed to break down her confidence even more by asking everyone who should go home, and they all say Scarlett, except for Scarlett, who says Raja. The bottom two is Raja and Scarlett. As you mentioned, they lip sync to Donna Summer's Last Dance, and Scarlett pulls out those scissors, those dull scissors, tries to cut herself out of the dress. She's flipping and flopping all over the floor. She pulls some glitter out of her bra. It is not enough to save her. And Scarlett goes home. Girls, we can't with the scissors
No,
anymore.
we can't.
We
Gotta leave that
can't.
where it
Mm-mm.
is.
We can't with the
Mm-mm.
scissors.
If it doesn't have snaps on it that can just tear away, just forget it.
Yep.
Forget it. If you ain't Velcro it, then oh well,
Oh
you
well.
had
Oh
to.
well.
Mm.
What was the name of the girl this past season who brought out the scissors? And it was even worse.
It was even
Oh
worse.
no.
Lydia.
Yes, Lydia Butthole Collins.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And that was just sad. That was
It
sad to
was
see. Because like those were like not even bejeweled scissors. They were just like regular scissors from your off your desk and an even thicker fabric that she was trying to cut through. So she literally spent the whole lip sync
flipping
trying to
and
cut,
flopping.
No.
just
Yeah.
flipping and flopping and trying to dance and trying to cut.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just like I feel like you learned the wrong lesson from Scarlett, honey. With
Yeah.
love. With love. But
Should have been a cautionary tale.
it should have been. But it wasn't. And we say goodbye to Scarlet Envy. I believe next week is another design challenge. So we'll see what happens there.
Hmm. I look forward to that.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, like, the fireworks must happen at the back end of this challenge because I just keep thinking about the lip sync that happens after the Snatch game, which to me is one of the most incredible things in Drag Race history. And I just want us to get to that level, and I'm losing my patience.
Yeah.
But hopefully you all are having fun listening to us talk shit. All right, well, that was the Draglympics.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yay.
Hope they don't do that again.
Ever.
Ever, ever. All right, we will be right back with a little bit of pure black joy. Stick around. And we are back. It is time for Pure Black Joy. This is the moment of the show where we talk about the black people, places, art, music, food, culture that's making us happy this week. Does anybody have one to
a,
share with the class?
a nice short one.
Go for it.
All right.
Thank you. So I discovered a new show that came out this spring, but I'm a little tardy to the party. But I binged it all in one sitting. It's called Carnival Catwalk, which is a design show a
Hmm.
la Project Runway, which is set in Trinidad and Tobago and
Oh.
features, yes, that is the carnival reference. It is a carnival theme design, right? I thought about you immediately, Paige, as I was watching this. And it's a bunch of designers from all over the Caribbean, maybe one from the US, one from Europe, a very, very aggressive one from Taiwan. And it's a great show. Perhaps the focus is a little bit more on the personalities than what they design, but we all know what people wear in Carnival. So like there's, in an hour show, you don't really need to spend 45 minutes watching somebody come up with what is ultimately going to be G-strings and a pasty. But it is great to see them on their way there. And it's a fun show, and it is such a celebration of what it is to be a Caribbean person and what Caribbean culture is. And I absolutely, absolutely loved it and appreciated the questions that my husband presented me as he was watching it. So I highly recommend it to everybody. It was a lot of fun.
Where do you watch this?
Yes.
Peacock.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, Peacock.
That sounds like it is absolutely for me. I
It is.
cannot wait to get into it. Oh my God.
Well,
And
maybe
one of my
that's
favorite Trinidadian celebrities, the gorgeous Wendy Fitzwilliam, former Miss Universe, is the Heidi Klum of the show. And she is great and generous and continues to be absolutely gorgeous. Big shout to Wendy. Yeah, loved it. Y'all should watch it.
maybe we should cover this.
Yes, I would love to talk about it.
I mean, that sounds
I would be into
awesome.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we have something to think. I should write that down.
Yes.
All right. Well, everybody go watch Carnival Catwalk, and we will be back in 2 weeks with a fresh new episode of musings and rantings for all of you. But in the meantime, if you want to help us out, you can do so by leaving us a 5-star review and some words wherever you're listening, telling your friends, and making sure you hit that subscribe button. You can email us if you have any questions or thoughts or feelings. We may read them. We'll see what we feel like. The Score Podcast 2.0 at gmail.com. And I think that's it. Did I forget anything?
Any words of wisdom?
Any words of wisdom? Hydrate. Go to sleep earlier.
Yeah.
Get
Be
outside.
mindful of your social media consumption.
That's a good one.
And put that white protein powder away before you put it in your suitcase.
And that part. And that part. That part. All right. We will see you in 2 weeks. But until then, be easy, everybody. Bye.